Hello. This video will support your team in conducting a needs assessment for the Wisconsin Graduation Rate Improvement Planning Tool. Please schedule approximately 2 hours for your entire team to meet and conduct the needs assessment. This process is done to support your team in identifying actionable items that will improve graduation rates for students with disabilities within your district. To get to the needs assessment, you will need to go to the Ratings tab. To do that, you will simply select My Toolbox on the left-hand side of the screen from your toolbar, which will open up your plans. Here, you will select the Edit button below the plan in which you would like to access the rating scale. From here, then, you will scroll down to the GRIP Ratings and Report red tab in the middle of your screen. This will directly open up your GRIP Ratings worksheet. You will have a chance to rate 13 different predictors within your school or district in the following categories: school leadership and district-wide diagnostics, looking at a shared vision, shared leadership, and district-wide diagnostics using data analysis and early warning systems, family and community relationships, looking at student and family characteristics as assets, family engagement, and strong collaborative community relationships. Next, your team will evaluate student-educator learning supports, looking specifically at mentoring and tutoring and academic supports. And finally, your team will look at effective instruction and targeted interventions, meaning personalized learning environments for students, rigorous and relevant instruction, and classroom behavior and social skills proficiency. As a reminder from earlier modules, these specific areas in which you are rating are directly aligned to predictors that will improve graduation rate and reduce dropout rate for students. You will use the attached rating scale at the left to be able to conduct this analysis. For a more detailed description of these ratings, you can download the scale in the Supplemental Materials tab, which I will show you how to access now. Again, you will use the toolbar on the left-hand side of the screen and select Supplemental Materials. You will open up the first link, which is GRIP Ratings Rubric. Again, this rubric will be utilized by your team to conduct a self-assessment of the predictor ratings just shown. The goal for conducting the needs assessment is to identify areas of greatest need and select evidence and research-based activities to improve that predictor rating. As you can see, you have access to each of the different predictor ratings in each of the categories. So this is school leadership and district-wide diagnostics. Your team will discuss 1.1, shared vision, 1.2, shared leadership, 1.3, systematic renewal, 1.4, data analysis and early warning systems, and finally 1.5, professional development for staff. What you will do is you will together read the specific category. So 1.1, shared vision. The district's vision is that all students will learn and grow. Resources and strategies are aligned to accelerate growth for students behind grade level or otherwise not on track for graduation. Your team will discuss where you feel you are falling on the implementation rating scale. 0, not being implemented at this time. 0% of students with disabilities are accessing, all the way up to 5, data-driven, consistently using data to make decisions about needing services, changes in programs, plans and strategies, and utilized in the district's planning efforts. And here, you would be looking at a larger percentage of students with disabilities accessing this. As your team identifies what rating you would give, you simply select the number in the drop-down menu in the rating column. It should be important to note that this is something that is shared just between your team. It is not something that is reported, and it allows you to really have a discussion about what areas you feel are strong and what areas a more focused effort could be done and put into an action plan to help support. It should also be noted that often districts do select in the 0 to 2 rating, which is okay because it gives us the opportunity to develop action steps to move the work forward. There are several features that I want to note within this ratings worksheet area. The first is a note-taking feature that will allow your team to summarize the conversation when you're discussing each of the predictors. To access the note-taking feature, you would select the Add Comments button at the bottom of each of the different categories. So as I am opening up the comments for school leadership and district-wide diagnostics, this gives me the opportunity to specifically type in notes around a summary for the different predictors you've discussed. So it is recommended that you identify each of the predictors you're talking about. So notice here I typed 1.1, and then I typed my notes after that. When your team is taking notes, your goal would be, again, to provide a summary of what was discussed for that specific predictor area. As you can see, the comments that I'm typing auto-save. Therefore, I'm able to open this up again at a later time, and I will also be able to access the comments once we go into the action planning step. Another feature available is the direct alignment of evidence and research-based practices that when implemented will support improvement in that predictor area. To access those evidence and research-based practices, you would simply click the plus button to the left of the specific predictor. From here, you can see a list of activities. All of these activities are evidence and research-based and outlined through our direct partnerships, which we learned about in an earlier module, and allow you to select these to put into your action plan for further development. To be able to add it to your plan, you would simply select the box next to the activity that you would like to choose. Upon completion of the needs assessment, your team will need to discuss what activities to put in your plan. To do this, consider the following. What are our greatest needs? Use the ratings that are available to you. Also use what are activities that are being currently done within our district. Here you would access the initiative inventory that you completed in an earlier module. Finally, discuss what are activities that will directly impact the students who have the greatest need. Use the information from the earlier activity, your root cause analysis and data review, to be able to have this discussion. As a team, it is encouraged to identify 2 to 3 activities that will directly impact needs within the district. Selecting more or less is to the discretion of the team. Again, to select activities, simply put a check next to the activity that under the column that says add to plan. All selected activities will be brought into your action plan that we will review in a later video.